Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is a GW Tiger P. It's the Tier 8 German SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Fjords, and it's under the command of Alehoh. And he's carrying a 21cm, which is the top gun in this game. It's capable of doing 1100 alpha, penetrating 53mm of armor and a burst radius of 12 meters. But it has got a rather long reload time, 36.13 seconds, and that's with a good crew and with a rammer. Now it's quite a big RT, and it's actually designed on the hull of the Tiger Porsche. Yes, the Tiger, as you know, in the Tiger project, Porsche went ahead and built a huge number of hulls, expecting that he was going to get the contract because of his electric drive system. But unfortunately, he didn't get it because Henschel got it instead, because they were proposing a heavy tank with a diesel engine instead, or petrol engine rather, the Maybach engine. And so, not having the contract, but having a huge number of hulls, he converted some of them into tank destroyers, the Ferdinand, which then became the Elephant, and some were going to be placed in this GW Tiger P, which never actually got off the drawing board, so to speak, because by the end of the war it was a needs must, and the need was for tank destroyers rather than artillery. Okay, you can see he's making his way into that little pocket on this corner, which means you can get shots on the enemy tank down in the south pass, and that's what he's intending to do. His first shot on the SU-101 yielded 450 hit points of damage. That was a nice shot, that was. But the enemy, well, they've reached the south pass, and our guys took a poke through around the corner and suddenly realised, no, they can't take these guys on in the open ground. And so they've retreated to use the pass. He fires a round in and gets a lovely direct hit on the defender. I think that defender now realises that there's an Arty that's looking directly at him. And from this direction you can see that if Alehoh lands around somewhere in between that group, he's actually going to damage more of them at the same time. That's where the burst radius of this artillery really comes into its own. 12 meters is a tier 10 burst radius of sorts. He's loaded. Rounds out in the IS-3, and he actually hits and damages the IS-3 for 489 hit points and stuns more than one of the enemy. Now our guys are kind of jockeying for a position so they can shoot back. It's a tier 8 game, so only tier 8 tanks, but these tanks don't like getting hit by large amounts of HE because it tends to ruin their day. Well, we're still loading, almost completed. He's loaded. Can barely hear it, but that he is ready to go. And he's lining up a shot on that Chrysler. Rounds out. And he splash damages the defender and the Chrysler and stuns both of them. Unfortunately, we just lost our defender. But we're getting a nice wedge of dead wrecks there, which is going to make it difficult for the enemy to get through, especially when Aleho's firing rounds on them as well at the same time. Now IS-22 has wedged himself in there, makes it very difficult for the enemy to get past him, and now they've got a wreck of their own because the IS-3 died. We're going to go for the defender first. He's the next to die, and he does. Didn't get any damage on anyone else, but that defender is now another obstruction. There is a channel that they could get through to pass through the pass, but it's so narrow that if any tank decides to go through that pass, they might become a wreck themselves. And there's the SU-101 that Alehoh hit earlier in the game. In fact, it's more a case now of... And the next shot goes in, kills the SU-101, and does some damage to the IS-6 Black. I think our guys are trying to push out now rather than stop the other guys from moving in, and I think the enemy realises that. That 7032 wants to put 2 rounds into that Chuck Chrysler. Unfortunately, he dies in the process, taken out by the Chrysler. And what a traffic jam it is there now. Okay, that shot really didn't do much other than stun the IS-6B. He's having a look around. He's got a Scorpion G protecting him at the moment, so that's okay. As long as there's somebody there to cover for him on his flank. An LT-432 is fairly close though, and he's just around the corner, and I'm not sure that Alehoh realises that. But the LT-432 is taken out by the Scorpion G bodyguard. Aleho's lining up a shot, fires in at the Chrysler and gets a direct hit. 487. Now we can't go through the Western Pass, even though the Scorpion's got... Oh no, cheeky! The T-54 first prototype's come up behind our guys, and looks like he's going to try and finish off that IS-22 and the IS-6 with a rear-ended shot. We're still a short distance away from being loaded, but our bodyguard has decided to leave us, and the T-44-100 is joining him, so maybe we might be able to get these guys. We're going for the IS-6B. Lines up, rounds out. Yeah, kill. So that's 3 kills now for Alehoh. The T-54 first prototype is now under 5 from the T-100. And the Scorpion G's arriving as well. And there goes the T-54 first prototype. Now the Chrysler G's coming under 5 from those two. And as soon as Aleho's loaded, he'll finish that guy off. Okay, he's fully dialed in. Unfortunately, we lost the Scorpion G. The Udas killed him. We're trying to get a shot on that Chrysler. Line him up, rounds out. It's a splash kill. So that's 4 kills now for Alehoh. 4 kills. You can see he's got 1 mark of excellence on the barrel already. And he's now seeking the protection of his teammates. Because after all, the enemy knows precisely where he is. And although he might not be able to get around into him in that position, he doesn't want to give him a chance. There's only 3 enemies left. A 7032, an SU-130PM and an Udas. And the Udas is really the problem, plus the SU-130PM, because he's up the hill and he's now going to come through the Eastern Pass. So ideally, we need to find a position where he can ambush that guy as he comes towards us. The SU-130PM's got very, very little armor, and a round from a 21 centimeter gun is going to ruin his day. Okay, he's seeking the cover of these houses. If he can turn and put himself in a position where he can get a shot on that SU-130PM when he comes down. 3 against 3 now. Okay, he's extended his aim. The unfortunate thing is the Artys like this don't have a very long view range, so the moment he spots that enemy, he's going to need to put a round into them quickly before they do the same to him. Although he does have full health, I'm afraid the SU-130PM could wipe him out with just 1 round. His alpha is, if I remember correctly, 520. There he is! Line him up. Yeah, that's a kill. He was seen, but oh boy, that's an 1100 hit point shot into a thin-skinned vehicle. It's going to do the full max, and yeah, say goodnight to the SU-130PM. The 7032 is just around the corner, and so Aleho's going to go defensive, find a position where he can actually hole up and wait for that 7032 to come near the cap. Or is he going to try and take a shot from this range? I think he's going to try and do it. As the 703 comes close, he's loaded, he's dialing in, he's getting ready. The guy stops. Yep, that's a hit. 418. Now he's going to move to cover. Gotta wonder what that 7032 was doing all the time during the game. Maybe he was AFK. He's certainly an inexperienced player, but we'll just have to see how he plays the 7032 from now on. Only 2 left on their team. The Udas must be somewhere close by, but I don't think he's got anything to shoot at the moment. And, well, we're about to be loaded again. Go for another round. He fires in straight away. 433 from that round. Non-penetrating shot, but it all counts. He's only got 1 round left of standard ammo, 1 round of premium. He probably won't be able to get him with 1 shot unless he's lucky and gets an ammo rack. But of course, remember, there's still that Udas. I think his teammates in the Progetto and the Lynx 6x6 are quite happy for Alehoh to use his HE to take this guy down. Oh, another great shot! 347 hit points, and now he's loading his last round, which is a premium round. Doesn't mean it does more damage. It does mean that it's got a bigger burst radius, 13.2 meters. So he only needs to land the shell near the target to do a lot of damage. But the 7032 is still coming on. And he takes out our Lynx. He's going to try and take out Alehoh, but we've got that Progetto up on the cliffs looking down. He fires 1 round into the side, and Alehoh gets the kill. And that's a top gun, but he was seen by the enemy. But he's now got no ammo left. 0 ammo. And if you press the reload button, it will say empty. So it's now down to the Progetto, who has very little on the way of hit points, to take down the Udas. Now, I'm surprised we haven't seen the Udas, and I can only wonder if he's AFK or he's flipped himself. And that is entirely possible. He might have done that. The GW Tiger P is painfully slow. It was the electric drive system that Porsche was advocating. The Udas is behind us. He's not AFK. He's actually behind us. He sneaked up on us. And he's now looking at Aleho's ass, or was looking, but he's not able to anymore. And he's just repositioning himself to get a shot into Alehoh, who's been spotted again. And the Udas, can he get below this horizon before the Udas shoots at him? No. He gets 1 shot in, and that's it. The Progetto is off on the South Pass. There's nothing that Alehoh can do to... He can't ram the guy. He's not fast enough to do that. And if the enemy Udas is smart enough, he'll just find a nice little ambush point and take him out the game. 50 hit points is all that Aleho's got left now. But the Progetto is moving to a position where he might be able to get shots on that Udas. Although the Udas does have a lot of health. The Udas has got 1,000 hit points. How do I know that? Because I've got mods which shows at the top of the screen how much hit points is left on the enemy team. It shows 1,000. Well, he's trying to get to the enemy cap, but there's insufficient time for him to cap out on his own. But if the Progetto was to get into the cap with him, they can still cap out at the 50-second point. But if they don't, then it's going to be impossible. He's been spotted. That means the Udas has followed him. And he's behind him. Oh dear. And he does die to a direct hit by the Udas. But the Udas did lose some hit points in that. He's now down to 576, and the Progetto with 3 shots could easily take the Udas out of the game. Let's see exactly what happens next. Is that Progetto player going to get the kill that makes it all count? Sadly, we're not following the Progetto at the moment, so we can't see what he's doing. I think I might be able to go to free cam and get closer. It looks like our Progetto's not going to engage. He's actually just going to hide. He's down here. We're actually looking directly at him right now. But unfortunately, due to the mods, I'm afraid it's not showing him. And the clock's counting down, so it's going to be a draw. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Game over. It's a draw. I guess that Progetto, with only 33 hit points, felt that he couldn't take on a Noobs who had vastly more. But there again, the Progetto does have a 90mm gun that's capable of doing a lot of damage. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it was an ace tanker for Alehoh in the GW Tiger Porsche. He managed to get a Reaper badge for taking out enemies with consecutive shots. He got his second mark of excellence during that game, and he also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He did get an epic medal, Gore's medal, for doing damage exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle, a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and he got a Top Gun for getting 6 kills when he killed the 703 version 2. His win rate from that game was 12,655. Now that's super Unicum standard, and you don't see many tank battles where people get that sort of level of win 8. On the team score, he did carry his team in that game, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to actually get the victory, and I'm afraid the Progetto let him down at the end. 5,688 hit points of damage in total. The next high scorer being T54 first prototype on the enemy team with 3,007, and then the T69 with 2,426. Their UDIS player only managed to get 1,546, and our Progetto only got 1,009 during that game. So they were fairly inexperienced players, but Tiger King Tiger did take down Alehoh in the end, but that's only because really the GW Tiger P is a slug. It's so slow. It's painfully slow and very easy to kill once it's been located. When it came to kills, it was Alehoh again with 6 kills from that game. There's 3 kills for the T54 first prototype in their Chrysler, and 2 kills for the UDIS and the Lynx 6x6 on the enemy team, and the 7032 and the Scorpion G on our team. And when it came to base XP, it was Alehoh again, so he's technically got all top 3, got the top in the column. 896 to Alehoh, 711 to the T54 first prototype, and then 579 to the 7032 on his team. He fired 15 rounds in that game, got 10 direct hits, 1 penetration, fired all the rounds in his ammunition, but he got good results. 5,688 hit points of damage, of which 3,276 were at more than 300 meters. Those were most of the shots that he fired into the Western Pass. 2 hits received, both penetrations, both from the UDIS, and killed him. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, and 842 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 67,808 credits, got 33,904 from personal reserves, and 5,615 from courageous resistance. That's for getting an epic medal or a battle hero medal in a losing or drawn game. So his total came to 107,326 credits, and after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, he still made a profit of 30,526 credits. He also picked up 7 bonds for the game, and 1,344 XP, 739 for courageous resistance, 1,042 for completing the mission events, and took away 3,125 experience points altogether. He said, "This one broke me into little pieces." Well, it was a tough game in terms of the fact that he tried so hard to win, and he put all the effort in, and unfortunately in the end that UDIS managed to take him out of the game. He was working incredibly hard on the Western Pass, and when it came down to it, all the tanks that actually came out of that Western Pass, or all the tanks on the enemy team, eventually met their doom in that area, and he got the last enemy in that group, which was of course the Chrysler G. But in the end it was the UDIS who got him. But 2 marks of excellence, you can't deny that, and a nice handful of medals to take away. A good game by Alehoh. Shows that position is actually quite a decent one if you want to do a lot of damage to the enemy heavies trying to attack our guys. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel please, and thank you for watching.